Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to a spirit message and tip. And this is an answer to comments that I've gotten not just recently, but over the years, to be honest with you. And this video is a long time coming. In fact, I've tried to do this video a couple of times and it was like I knew I was missing something. And I also feel sometimes when I start talking passionately about a subject I really am passionate about, I tend to go a little bit babbling and off the rails, and I feel it dilutes the message. And I also sometimes I hear myself talk, and it's something I've dealt with my whole life, not just with this channel, but it's almost like you hear your words or you wish you were almost in a different package because you feel like what you're saying you're not doing justice to, like somehow it's not, I felt like the more I spoke, it diluted the message. But here, I'm going to put it all in, and I'm going to put in as much as I wrote out in the description box too, and then just only elaborate with real examples. But I get this all the time, like why readings here are always positive, in a light tone, in a love tone, right? Why are the readings here always positive, in a light tone, in a love tone? And I get literally asked this so much in the comments, and I do want to answer this. I'm going to cover it all in this video, and it's what's true for me, not just with the readings, but in life. And I mean, it is the reason why I'm even doing this channel, have the channel started, continued. It is just so true in life why readings here are always positive, in a light tone, in love tone. So I want to share that with you for when you're doing the readings, but also for your life, and it literally is summing up, I feel like, the whole reason why I even do readings or messages or share them on the channel in any which way, and just for when you do readings. Okay, so, but this is what I get in the comments a lot, right? Why do all the readings here have a positive light tone messages, right? They're in light tone or in love tone, like even with all the negative around. That's what I get all the time. Even with all the negative around, like these can't be real accurate or inclusive of only talking positively or of love, right? And this is so easy to answer this one, but also I want to really cover a lot. Yes, that's very true, but it's not counting the darkness. It is not denying the darkness. I want to explain this, and this is something not just for readings, not when you get things directly, but in your life. This is not discounting. I just want to say it is very easy to answer this one. Why is it all in light, in a more positive tone, in a light tone, in love tone? Because literally that's all I receive. And yes, that's all you will receive too. So I want to talk about this because even when so-called negative things are happening, there will always be a more positive light, guidance, love, support, backing, or a more positive way or perspective to have, or helpful guidance to actually help support and assist you on getting through it. I mean, I have never received catastrophic or bad or negative messages in a way that's just focusing on that. It's not denying the difficulties or the hardships. It's just the viewpoint of how to make this easier or better or get through it. It's like cutting to the chase. What to focus on instead that could be helpful in making it less difficult or less hard. What can you let go of? How can you look at it? Or what can really help you in this difficult situation, right? So I always explain to people, I did not learn tarot cards and just do readings. It's like the spirit messages came first, and then later when I was like 11 or something, I started with tarot cards and oracle cards. But the spirit messages came first, so I already knew the tone, and many of you already know the tone of love, of light, of when you get spirit messages or everything else. So when you're doing a reading, yeah, that's the tone, right, that you want. I mean, so no, life itself is not without, I just want to say, life itself is not without major loss, tragedy, difficulties, hardships. But when you do readings, or even directly, you want to receive assistance, help, guidance, love, support, a better perspective, or just an easier way to get through that without rehashing or just focusing on the negative. I mean, even when receiving messages directly, it has never been receiving guidance in a negative tone or a negative way. That is just absolutely never ever the tone I've ever received, right? So it's very similar to when you're just walking in a dark room and you flicking on the light switch. It is addressing the darkness, but it's just adding light, right? It's not denying it's a dark room. It's just bringing in light. It's bringing in some more love, some more light. So I know sometimes when I say never ever a catastrophic negative tone, sometimes you do receive, this is not counting this part, I just want to say, when you receive like a flash or a premonition of something may happen, something that you can avoid, or just be prepared in some way, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Like sometimes you might get a feeling or a knowing someone might pass away, or a feeling of knowing of like an accident or something. You know, this is also help, right? I mean, this is not negative. This is giving preparation, it's giving help. So even that is not negative. That's positive help coming through. But when it comes to receiving messages, I just want to say it is always one of more light or love or support or guidance or backing or perspective or granting better sight, vision, knowing, feeling in some way to help and empower you in some way to get through it. It's always done in a more positive light, in that way, in the tone of love, you know, in a light tone, always. So whenever asked or commented that, you know, all is spoken in the positive or in a more positive tone, yeah, it certainly is, because that's love, support, backing, and that's the tone. That's always the tone I receive no matter what's going on. So a lot of people may say, you know, you only focus on the positive. She only focuses on the positive. Yeah, because that's always the direction. That's always the tone. So there's like a quick acknowledgement of the honest scenario, almost just like an understanding in full, right? They already know. There's no need to harp on it or rehash. And just a quick light switch to now receiving the more positive, the help, the guidance, the support, the love, the way to navigate, or like I said before, something that can just genuinely make it better in some way for you. So yeah, you know, though it's positive, it's not denying the negative happening. It's just focusing and switching on the light and receiving the more positive in every moment that you can possibly receive it. And it's not just in readings, but in life, right? Again, just like a dark room, you flip on the switch to receive more light. We don't have to talk about how dark the room is and stay talking or rehashing about that. That's why all is received this way and then in turn is given out that way in a more positive light. I don't focus on the negative or repeat the negative circumstances. They already know. A card, actually, if you're doing a reading for yourself, a card may come up to even show that they know, like it's quickly mentioned. Or you can even receive a positive card that you know is an answer to a negative, right? Like if a card comes out that says, you know, be more empowered or strong, and it's just reading it, it's fitting this as a cup. It's like everything is half full, half empty. You can read it in a positive tone to be more empowered, but it's also saying at some point you weren't being empowered, right? So I'm just saying it. All I ever receive is in a more positive light. That is love, guidance, support, backing. That's what it is, like quite literally. So how this happens, not just in a reading, but in life, this is a perfect example. Forget readings, just in life itself. If you're going through something and something comes in to help guide you or support you, it's not focusing on the negative of what's happening to you. They already know that. What's coming in is the help, the positive, the guidance, the support, the love. That's it, and that's why it is what it is. It's love. And by the way, when you say the words in light tone, you know, like you're saying this is in a light tone, like in love tone, in light tone, you're receiving in light tone. It even sounds like enlighten, enlighten, in light tone, enlighten. It's very much to enlighten and bring in more love and light in all the ways you possibly can along the way, but it's quite literally not just words, right? So besides in readings, like to read in a more positive tone or in that tone, I mean, that's all I know is to receive it in that tone, in that way. I've never received directly in any other tone. It will never come in like that. And it's just love and light, like literally. I know people say love and light, but it literally is. I mean, just like it's not discounting that there's negativity. I always talk about the gravity of the world, and there's definite hardships and tragedy and God knows loss and everything else. But when love and light come in, I mean, that's just flipping a switch. So it's like being in a dark room and putting on the switch. So in comes love, more love and light, something that's helpful, something that's loving, something that's insightful, something you can use, something to make it better, something to show you the way out. But it's already acknowledged the darkness because it came in for you. So you don't need to talk about how dark the room is. You know what I'm saying? It's already meeting you there. It's already turning on the light. So that's why I say, yeah, I mean, when people say, why are the readings here always positive, in light tone, in love tone, that's why. I mean, that's the only way I ever received it, in a light tone and in a love tone. And even, you know, if something showed up that's happening in your life, there was always shifting the light switch to what can you do, how can you look at it, what would help in this moment, what's the guidance, what can you follow up on, how, what can you hold in your mind and heart instead, what can you let go of, how can you put this to bed. It's something to switch your mind and heart quite literally with that. So you're really bringing in more love and light in that moment in all the ways you can. So so the readings reflect that. That's the tone. That's all I know, like that resonates. And in life itself, that's the tone that comes in. I mean, that's what you're going to get. You're just going to get light and love. They're not going to talk about how dark the room is. It's in comes something to help you. So whether that's a piece of guidance, a piece of love and support, something coming in, they just gave you light and love, right? So I know people say those words all the time, but it is quite literally light and love. I mean, that comes in. And it's not just words. So I know sometimes I tried to do this reading, this video before, but it almost felt like I didn't do it justice. I think I did it justice here. I mean, that's why. That's how you're going to receive. I mean, that's why the readings here are always positive, in a positive light, in light tone, in love tone. That's the tone. And so you're going to get that, like, when you're doing readings, to keep that in your mind and heart, to receive it that way. And then your life, that's what you're receiving too. I know we grapple for words to describe things that are not easy to put in words, but that really is what it is when you talk about it. So that is why the readings here are always positive, in a light tone, in love tone. And I even said, if you look at the word in light tone, it even sounds like enlighten. It's very much to enlighten and bring in more love and light in all the ways that you possibly can along the way. But it's quite literally. It's not just words, right? So what I always say too, it's like what comes in, this is not the same as a human being where you had a rough day and then you're going to go down the street and rehash everything that was negative and everything else. No, they just come in with some help. They just come in with the light. They just come in with the guidance. They just come in with some love. They're already meeting you there. They already know. This is to bring you out. This is literally going in a dark room and putting on the light in some way. So I hope that explained it. But I know this comes up in the comments a lot. It's like, why the readings here are always positive, in light tone, in love tone. Yeah, because that's how I receive it. That's how I always received it. And so in turn, that's how I put out. Now, everybody reads differently, and everybody, I'm not saying there's any right or wrong way, but this is what's true for me with the readings and also in life. Very much so. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why with the channel, I mean, I'm just sharing, like, what does it for me, basically, or what has helped me, or what's helping me in the moment, or, what I'm receiving, or what I receive to pass on or share or something. I mean, but that's the tone. That's always the tone. I don't receive anything anything different. I wouldn't know how to read the cards in any other way than the tone that I receive it in. Do you know what I mean? And you'll recognize now, when you say the words love and light, I mean, it really is that, but quite literally, right? So it's not negating. A lot of people say, like, if you're talking in a positive way, or you're talking about light and love, that you're not addressing the negative, but they have already addressed it. They are meeting you in the dark room and putting on the light in some way. Like, they are. They're not talking about the negativity. They're just coming in with the help, with the love, with the support, with the guidance, so what I'm saying is my readings are leaned in that way. That's with the tone, that's what's coming out, because that's the only way that I receive. That's what I call real love and help in the first place. And in your life, you're going to find that true too. I mean, that's what it is. It's love. That's what they said at the end. I mean, and that's it. That's why it is what it is. Love. That's what they said. It is what it is. Love. So, yeah. So I hope I explained it all, because this has been like, I get this question so much, I do realize. And sometimes I look at my headers on my channel and I'm like, it is so light. It's almost, if it's so positive and so light, how can it be taken seriously, right? And I just remember also, to be perfectly honest, it's almost like a battle. Like I say all the time with the channel, or if I speak or say anything, I hear what I'm saying, and it's almost like, it's almost too light to be taken seriously, but that's what it is. I mean, it's really, really light. It's really, really positive. It's really, really love. And I don't know what else to say about it, but you're experiencing it in your life over and over and over again. It coming in for you in many different ways. Like I said, you're getting it directly. You don't even have to label it as such, but if you get a brilliant idea, brilliant guidance, a new thing to follow up on, I mean, they're helping you. If you feel inspired, if you're, anything that's bringing in more light or love, very often that's where you're getting it from. You're not manufacturing this yourself. I just give credit to them in a sense, but they are there. And so that's why I just say why the readings here are always positive in light tone and love tone. Yeah, because that's true for me. I mean, that's what it was in life. And so when I do readings, like I said, I didn't learn tarot first. I received that first. And so when I approach the cards, I'm using it to connect with them. And that's what the same tone that I want to receive. So I don't feel, it's not denying the negative. It's not denying the gravity of the world. In fact, if you even are attracted to this video and watching it, which not many people are, and if you're getting spirit messages directly and all your clairs are open, you're more sensitive, all that, you're actually getting more because they do know the gravity of the world and the negativity of the world. And if you're sensitive to that, you're also sensitive to them. You're also sensitive for the light and the love. Do you see what I'm saying? You're just going to find that also. If you take a look around the world, I'm just adding this in, as much as this world is so difficult, like if you classify yourself as whatever label it is, but you're very sensitive, you're empathic, all your clairs are open, life has been so difficult, so hard, you feel everything seems so archaic to you, why can't we all get along? All these things that make life so hard and so difficult, and you're probably much more sensitive than other people. In itself, it's still the blessing because you are receiving love, support, backing, guidance. You are open to that as well. So you see what I'm saying? So if you notice people who are just making, say, if you're making the world more toxic, if you're not open to love and light, if you're just me, or just at the cost of other people and just making the world uglier, or somehow you're not open to the loving, supportive energies that make it easier in a sense either. So I always saw that as a two-edged sword, so to speak, because your life so when people, it's going back to why the readings here are always positive in light tone and love tone. It's not at all, because I kept on getting, like, if you're only talking about love, if you're only talking positive, it's not including the darkness. It is already addressing the darkness. That is why it's even coming in. That is why you even have easy access. That's why you're getting so much help, guidance, love, support. That is why. Like, you'll just find that is why. They've already addressed it. They're already meeting you in the dark room and giving you the love and light to use, right? So, why I took my time with this video is because I do feel that it encompasses so much. So when people say, how can you take this seriously if it's only about love and light and positivity? It's like, well, it's already addressing the negativity. It's meeting you right there and providing you with the help and the love and the light and the guidance. And it is what it is. It's love, and that's the tone, and that's what's coming in. And they already know. There's no need to talk about how dark it is. There isn't. They're just providing you with the help. Just very often, like, what's coming up in the readings a lot is, like, if you're trying to accomplish things in the physical, and people and energies and everything, nobody's making it easy. It's very difficult to navigate. Everything affects your energy. Everything affects what you're doing. It's not like a straight road. It's like, well, you're going to get a lot of signs. You're going to get a lot of love, support, backing. There's going to be a lot of things coming in, like, I can't explain it, but like keeping you lit, keeping you going, keeping you moving forward. Like I always say, like your rah-rah section. And so I'm going to end it, like, just as things make it so difficult, they bring things, you're still open and sensitive enough to receive the love, support, guidance. Here go all the birds flying in the air, right? And so if you think that just talking positive or receiving love and support is not addressing the negative, they already know. That's why they're coming in. It's love. Yeah, it's literal. I know people talk about love and light, but that is love and light. Like, so how this happens, I'm going to end it just how it said. I mean, yes, of course, all my readings are going to be more positive in a light tone, in a love tone. That is all I receive. That's all I'm going to be giving out. And how this happens, not just in a reading, in life. You're going through something. Something comes in to help you, to guide you, to support you. It is not focusing on the negative of what's happening to you. They already know that. So what comes in is the help, the positive, the guidance, the support, the love. And that's it. And that's why. And it is what it is. It's love. And yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, literally, it's literally very much to bring in more love and light in all the ways you possibly can along the way. But it's quite literally, it's not just words. It's not just words. So I hope this answers the questions. I've tried to do this so many times, but I felt like I was missing something. And very, very often I do feel I'm not giving justice. Like I hear myself talk, I hear my voice. And it's not just with this channel, but I felt that, you know, like my whole life. It's like, it's not, I don't know, but it is what it is, and I try my best. It's hard to put into words, but I know you get it anyway. Why readings here are always positive, in light tone, in love tone messages. That's why. That's why. You're going to find that in readings and in life. And I wish you the best, but that's my answer to it all, as best I could. Take care. Bye-bye.